if you crawl, like if you actually go prone, you're stealthy.
Yeah. It's like Metal Gear, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. You're gonna call the SEAF artillery on this thing?
Well, that's a Pouncer.
What? No, that. What's that thing?
Oh,
blind? What
hey.
the
Okay.
Facing it.
Oh, I hit it directly?
Oh, yeah.
I hit it directly, dude.
Oh, you saw it fire. That's so cool.
Oh!
Yes!
Yes! Fuck yeah! That was awesome!
Gotta be honest, if you told me at the start of the year that I'd be making a video about Helldivers 2 right now, probably wouldn't have believed you. Feel pretty stupid for this now, but the marketing for this one made me just completely lose interest from the word go. This looked like just another dull, live service, third-person co-op shooter, and let's be honest, we don't really need any more of those. They even put out one of those cringy co-op gameplay trailers where they mic up 4 people who are quite obviously developers of the game.
Okay, I'm covering you on the right.
Reinforcing. We're covering your rear. Reinforcing.
Well done, Helldivers.
But I have to hand it to this game. It is a true standout, and the amount of buzz it's generated since its launch is for a very good reason. It takes all those samey tropes of done-to-death live service games like this, and it flips them on their head. Objectives are really interesting. Challenge is high, but scales to what you and your team want. Gameplay feels really great. The sound design and score make every mission seem so epic, and the satire and shared community progression really sets it apart from other co-op shooters. I could easily argue that any of those things are what has made this the biggest video game of 2024 so far, but to me, none of those things are the true genius of Helldivers 2.
Up with my spear.
So for anyone who hasn't been keeping up, let me get you up to speed. In Helldivers 2, you play as a soldier who fights for Super Earth, in a heavily Americanized galactic war that takes a lot of inspiration from Starship Troopers. As I alluded to before, this game is extremely satirical, and pulls the entire player base together by having almost MMO-like shared progression. You and up to 3 friends will drop into a planet that's in enemy territory, complete objectives to help the war effort, vanquish the indigenous population, sorry, deliver justice to the tyrannical foes that threaten the innocent people of Super Earth. While shooting this game's arsenal of guns feels pretty great, your power-ups, or stratagems, will be your main weapons against the foes you face. These can vary from tactical airstrikes, to rocket launchers dropping from the sky, to ammo resupplies, to force fields, to jump packs, to sentries and drones. I mean, the list is surprisingly long. You can take up to 4 of these into an excursion with you, and apart from gearing them more heavily towards whatever objective or enemy you're fighting, it is really up to your individual playstyle preferences to decide what to take. No matter which stratagems you choose though, they will arguably be way more important than your primary or secondary weapon. Some are suited to crowd control, some are offensive, others defensive, and quite a few of them get better when your friends help you to use them. God, what's happening to my arms? Besides the tactics and team play elements though, I think my favourite thing about stratagems might be how you call them in.
Okay, I'm dead.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off!
Dude, no rush.
Oh, everything's fine. Oh!
Activating a stratagem might be one of the standout video game mechanics I have come across in recent years. It's certainly up there with the cloning mechanic from The Last Clockwinder. While holding down the stratagem button, you input these directional codes that you see on screen. It's not as simple as accessing a weapon wheel or spamming a hotkey. You need to nail the distinct code for each stratagem if you want to call one in. And when the hordes of hell are closing in on your position, that is not always the easiest task. At first, it might actually seem like these codes require a bit too much of your attention, particularly when you're experiencing the game's hilarious level of difficulty for the first time. It can all be a bit overwhelming.
Looking good. They should probably stop dropping in at some
Oh my god!
Oh god!
Oh my god! Oh f***ing shit! Oh my god!
Oh Jesus!
It's so much!
After playing just a few sessions though, I began to think they demand the perfect level of agency. These codes are just enough to make you concentrate for a few seconds, feel the mental strain of having to multitask, and then get you back in the action. Moreover, there's something you can improve at if you have the memory for good old-fashioned cheat codes. I also think there's something to be said for how clunkily hammering a code into a foreign piece of wrist technology aligns you with your Helldiver. It doesn't matter if you're using a controller or a mouse and keyboard to play. Either input will make your hands move to a slightly awkward position, which is an excellent way of reflecting your Helldiver using their wrist device instead of keeping both hands on their weapon. Arguably, you could actually take this a step further too. Perhaps an element of why I love stratagems so much is because, yeah, they feel a little bit overwhelming when you first try to call them in, but I'm sure my in-game character feels exactly the same way I do. The 15-minute tutorial only teaches you the absolute basics of fighting a galactic war. Then, before you know it, your Helldiver is blasted down to an alien planet, and the only aid they can call in is a small country's arsenal of military gear. They definitely haven't had enough time to memorize some weird encrypted codes, so they'd be just as likely as you to fumble around and have no idea what enormous explosion they've called on top of their friend's head. To back that up, the game doesn't even really explain to you how stratagems work. Will you run out of them? What sort of distance away should you be from this explosive airstrike compared to the other 15 you'll unlock later? And what's the difference between them all anyway? Honestly, I still don't even know the difference between most of the explosive airstrikes you can call in. They all help the war effort, so why does it matter?
Oh.
As you gain more experience of battling Terminids and Terminators, as you get used to the sight of your best friend's blood on your cape and the guilt of knowing you put it there, using stratagems starts to feel incredible. You'll learn by doing, sometimes out of sheer necessity because surviving until the extraction ship arrives requires all the random bullshit in your inventory. With every orbital strike and ally reinforcement, you'll start to become more fluent in using stratagem codes, just like your Helldiver will become more battle-hardened and clinical. Maybe this is all just overthinking things, but I just love that that feeling of progression is tied to the mechanic itself.
Can I do a Tony Stank thing? Hold on. Guys, are you ready? Are you ready?
Tony
Watch.
Stank thing.
Watch. Look at me.
Oh, he's
No,
doing the thing. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That was perfect. Oh no, the bug killed him anyway.
The next reason I think stratagems make Helldivers 2 stand out is that even beyond the Konami Code inputs, they still demand tactical skill to use successfully. You have to throw these markers down accurately. You have to anticipate where your enemies will be and time your throw accordingly. You need to know when the right time to resupply is and know which stratagem works against what enemy type. Some of the stratagems do have limited uses, some have longer cooldowns, and all of them have the potential to ruin your team's progress as much as help it along.
I'm popping off.
Those things always look like they're dead and then they're really... What was that?
A few moments later.
What's a real shame about that arc?
Amazing that your arc completely destroyed our progress in that mission. For example, when you start to rise up the difficulty tiers, you'll come up against more chargers, which are by far one of the most annoying enemy types in the game. As their name suggests, these things charge you down and sport really thick armor that basically none of the primary or secondary weapons will make a dent in. An Eagle airstrike doesn't really do much damage to it, the basic support weapons like the machine gun aren't very effective, a sentry turret just gets bashed down by it. You could learn after a while that shooting its leg armor off opens up a weak spot, but that's not very fun. Instead, you could also learn the stratagems it's particularly weak against.
Why is it still charging me? What's the laser doing?
There it goes. Using the perfect stratagem for your situation requires tactical knowledge to pull off, and I love that because it means that there's depth to using them. These stratagems just aren't as simple as playing COD and calling in an airstrike in the general area you think your enemies might be on a very small map. This is so much more three-dimensional and so much more situational as well. Not to mention the friendly fire really complicates things. Oliver.
That was me. That was me. I'll hold my hand out there, that was my
I know
bad.
it was you. But when you do learn to use them properly, when you master the codes while tactically withdrawing the perfect distance from a 500-kilogram bomb, Helldivers 2's stratagems make you feel completely overpowered in a game that's relentlessly sending you dropship after dropship of enemies that can kill you in seconds. Or at least, they make you feel overpowered for the split second that you use them. But that's part of the charm too. It's all a game of resource management.
Whoa.
That was awesome. The final reason I love stratagems, and I've kind of appreciated this more as I've unlocked and used more of them, is that they make this co-op third-person shooter feel like a sandbox. Now, I grant you, there are some dog shit stratagems on the list. I am not gonna sit here and tell you that using the ballistic shield is viable, but on the whole, there are a lot of versatile tools to use in this game. It reminds me of Hunt Showdown in that way, because yeah, it might be more challenging to take in a baseball bat and fight against people that are packing sniper rifles, but if you do play your cards right, that's a viable loadout. In Helldivers, you can stick to meta stratagems, but if you want to bring in an EMS sentry or a smoke strike instead of the obvious choices, there's nothing stopping you. The menu of military options makes each dive feel new, and when the conditions of each planet or the daily challenges require something specific of your loadout, there's more than one way to destroy a fabricator. Something I also love about choosing your loadout is that you and your teammates do it on a shared screen where you can see what everyone else is bringing. This screen invites you to coordinate with your partners. One of the game directors recently said that a good co-op game forces players to play together, but a great one makes players want to play together. And that's exactly what this loadout screen does. Sharing stratagems is a thing. If one of you has a shield pack and the other doesn't, you can call one in again after its cooldown and gift it to a friend. Then you both have more protection against these unfeeling, venomous, treacherous little robots. Sorry, I don't know what came over me there. Whew. Had a sudden attack of patriotism. If one of you wants to be the airstriker and one of you wants to act like a walking resupply, there are ways to coordinate that. As destructive as stratagems can be because of friendly fire, it is very cool that you can decide as a team which ones you want to bring with you. Unless you're playing with bug-sympathizing randoms, then they just steal your stuff when you die, or kill you at extraction and steal all your samples. All of these things coalesce into one of the most unique and engaging shooter experiences I've encountered in a long time, and one that takes the very well-worn third-person co-op shooter genre to new levels. It remains to be seen if Helldivers 2 can ride the wave of its popularity and become a mainstay of this genre, but personally, I think stratagems could help it do that. And to be honest, I can't see the novelty of dropping a nuke on a bunch of Terminator lookalikes wearing thin anytime soon. So that's that! Those are the main game design reasons why I love stratagems in Helldivers 2. Now, tell me, what is the most underrated stratagem in Helldivers 2? Head down to the comments below and tell me what you think. In other news, I recently started a Discord server. The link to join is down in the description, and going forward it will probably be the best way to keep up with me and what I'm working on. You also get to chat video games and entertainment with a load of really lovely people. That's all from me today. Time for me to get back to spreading some managed democracy. If you liked what you saw, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to get notified when I upload next. But until then, tune in next time.